If you were born between 1955 and 1965, stop what you are doing right now, because what you are about to hear could permanently change how much money lands in your bank account every single month for the rest of your life. Not by a little, we are talking about the difference of hundreds of dollars every month, which adds up to tens of thousands of dollars over a typical retirement. And the painful part is that most people in this exact birth year group make the wrong decision simply because nobody ever explained the rules to them in plain English. Not their employer, not the Social Security office, not even their own financial advisor in many cases. The system assumes you already know things it never actually told you, and if you claim at the wrong time or misunderstand one rule that applies specifically to your birth year, that smaller check becomes your permanent check. There is no going back. That is what makes this so serious. I looked carefully through the current Social Security Administration guidelines, the official retirement age charts, the earnings test rules, and the delayed retirement credit schedule. What I found is that the rules are genuinely different depending on the exact year you were born, and the window of birth years between 1955 and 1965 is the single most complicated stretch in the entire Social Security calendar. If you are in this group, you are not like the people born in 1950 or 1968. Your rules are different. Your full retirement age is different. Your penalty for claiming early is different. And the reward for waiting is calculated differently too. I want to walk you through all of it in plain language so that when you make this decision, you make it with the full picture in front of you. Before we go further, I want to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. The reason is not just a generic request. It is because Social Security rules, Medicare premium adjustments, benefit thresholds, income limits, and earnings test numbers change every single year, and sometimes mid-year. Subscribed viewers hear about those changes before they cause a problem. If you are not subscribed, there is a real chance you could miss an update that directly affects your monthly income. It takes 1 second. Hit the button now, and then let us get into the information that may be the most important financial decision of your life. The first thing you need to understand is your full retirement age and why it is not 65 the way many people still believe. This is one of the most widespread and expensive misconceptions in the entire senior population right now. For years, the standard retirement age in the Social Security system was 65. That was the number most people grew up hearing. Their parents claimed at 65, their neighbors claimed at 65. And so a lot of people in this birth year group have 65 fixed in their mind as the right age. But the law changed. Congress made adjustments to the full retirement age schedule, starting with people born in 1938. And by the time you get to people born in 1955 and beyond, 65 is no longer the full retirement age. It has moved. And if you claim believing you are at your full retirement age when you are actually not, you lock in a permanent reduction that follows you for life. Here is how the chart actually breaks down for this birth year group. If you were born in 1955, your full retirement age is 66 and 2 months. If you were born in 1956, it is 66 and 4 months. 1957 brings 66 and 6 months. 1958 is 66 and 8 months. 1959 is 66 and 10 months. And for everyone born in 1960 through 1967, the full retirement age is 67. That is a 2-year gap between the oldest and youngest members of this birth window. If you are born in 1955 and you assume your full retirement age is 66 flat, and you claim at 66 flat, you have claimed 2 months early without realizing it. That triggers a reduction. And that reduced amount, small as it might seem in month 1, is locked in permanently. The Social Security Administration does not send you a letter explaining this. The form you fill out does not walk you through the math. You have to know your exact birth year and your exact full retirement age before you ever submit that application. The second issue involves what happens when you claim before your full retirement age and how permanent the damage is. A lot of people in this group plan to claim at 62 because they have heard that is the earliest you can claim, and they figure they will just get more checks by starting earlier. Here is what that decision actually costs. For every month you claim before your full retirement age, your benefit is permanently reduced. The Social Security formula reduces your benefit by a fraction of a percent for each of the first 36 months before full retirement age, and then by a slightly different fraction for each month before that. The total reduction from claiming at 62 if your full retirement age is 67 is about 30%. A 30% permanent cut. If you were entitled to $2,000 a month at full retirement age, claiming at 62 gives you roughly $1,400 a month instead. That is $600 less every single month. Over 20 years of retirement, that is $144,000. And that is before we even count the survivor benefit implications for a spouse. Here is why people miss this. When you call the Social Security Administration to ask about your benefit, they give you a number. That number might be accurate for your exact date of claim. But if you do not ask what it would be at your full retirement age, and you do not ask what the reduction is per month, you might hang up thinking the number is just what it is. You have to know the right questions to ask. A lot of people see the smaller amount and assume that is just how it is, when in fact there is a larger amount available if they wait. The agency is not required to talk you out of claiming early. That decision is yours, and once it is made, it is made. Now the third point catches people off guard more than almost anything else, and it is called the earnings test. If you plan to claim Social Security before your full retirement age and you are still working, listen very carefully because this rule can make your early claiming decision much more painful than you realize. The earnings test says that if you are collecting Social Security before full retirement age and you are also earning income from a job, the Social Security Administration will reduce your benefit if your income exceeds a certain threshold. The threshold changes slightly each year, but the rule is that for every $2 you earn above the limit, the Social Security Administration withholds $1 of your benefit. If you earn significantly above the threshold, your benefit could be reduced substantially or even withheld entirely for months at a time. Now here is the part people do not know. The withheld money is not completely gone forever. When you reach your full retirement age, the Social Security Administration recalculates your benefit to give some of that money back over time in the form of a slightly higher monthly payment. But the recovery is slow and it is not a full dollar-for-dollar return on a timeline that favors most people. So the combination of the early claiming reduction and the earnings test can leave a working person in this birth year group worse off in a way they never expected. They thought they were getting extra income by claiming early while still working. Instead, they got a permanently reduced benefit, had a portion withheld on top of that, and are now waiting years to recover the difference. This is where careful people still get caught. Do not assume that just because you can claim early and work at the same time, it is a smart financial move. Run the numbers first or talk to someone who can do it for you. The fourth point is where the more expensive mistake lives, and it applies to people in this birth year group who are thinking about waiting past full retirement age rather than claiming early. The Social Security system does reward you for waiting. After your full retirement age, each additional month you delay claiming earns you what are called delayed retirement credits. These credits increase your benefit by 8% for every full year you wait past full retirement age, up until age 70. After age 70, there are no more credits earned. The benefit stops growing. So the window of maximum value for waiting is between your full retirement age and age 70, and not a day after. Here is what makes this complicated for the 1955 to 1965 group. Because full retirement age varies within this window, the number of months available for earning delayed credits also varies. Someone born in 1955 with a full retirement age of 66 and 2 months has more months to accumulate those credits than someone born in 1960 whose full retirement age is 67. The math is different for every year in this group. And if you are in poor health, or if you have a spouse who depends on your benefit for their survivor benefit later, the calculation of whether to wait or not becomes more nuanced than a simple answer. The delayed credits are real, and they are significant. An 8% increase per year compounded across several years of waiting can mean the difference between $1,700 a month and $2,300 a month for the rest of your life. But collecting those credits requires knowing your exact starting point and calculating your break-even age carefully. The break-even age is the point at which the higher monthly payment from waiting surpasses the total you would have collected by claiming earlier. For most people, the break-even point when comparing claiming at full retirement age versus waiting until 70 lands somewhere around age 80 to 82. If you expect to live past that age in reasonable health, waiting tends to be worth it. If your health is a serious concern or your family history suggests a shorter lifespan, claiming earlier may actually make more practical sense. There is no single right answer, but there is a single right process. Know your full retirement age, understand the credit rate for waiting, estimate your break-even, and then make an informed choice. Most people never take those steps. They just pick an age and call. The fifth thing is the one almost nobody talks about, and it can affect a spouse, a widow, a divorced person, or someone who has been out of the workforce for years taking care of a family. It is called the spousal benefit and the survivor benefit. And for people in this birth year group, understanding how your own claiming decision affects someone else's monthly income is critical and frequently overlooked. Here is the core rule. A spouse who qualifies for a spousal benefit can receive up to 50% of the higher earning spouse's full retirement age benefit. But that 50% maximum is based on the higher earner's full retirement age amount. If the higher earner claimed early and took a permanent reduction, the spousal benefit is also reduced because it is calculated against a smaller number. And for widows and widowers, the stakes are even higher. A survivor benefit allows a widow or widower to receive up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit. But again, if the higher earner claimed early and locked in a smaller monthly check, the survivor benefit is calculated based on that smaller amount. A widow who outlives her husband by 15 or 20 years could be receiving hundreds of dollars less per month for the rest of her life because of a decision her husband made at 62 without fully understanding the long-term consequences for both of them. This is not happening because either of them did anything wrong. It is happening because the system does not walk you through these scenarios before you claim. You have to know to ask. If you are divorced and your marriage lasted at least 10 years, you may be entitled to a spousal benefit based on your ex-spouse's work record, even if they have remarried. This benefit does not reduce what your ex-spouse receives. It is a separate entitlement. And the Social Security Administration does not automatically tell you about it when you apply. The form exists for exactly this situation, but you have to ask about it. Many divorced women and men in this birth year group are receiving only their own smaller benefit when they are entitled to a higher amount based on a former spouse's earnings record. That is real money sitting unclaimed in the system. Not imaginary money, but actual benefits they paid into and qualified for. One more piece of this fifth point that matters enormously. If you are the higher earning spouse in your household and you are in good health with a reasonable life expectancy, the decision to wait until 70 to claim is not just a personal financial decision. It is also a long-term protection plan for your spouse. Your survivor benefit does not expire. It does not disappear when you pass. It transfers, and it transfers at the higher amount if you waited. So in many couples, the optimal strategy is for the higher earner to delay as long as possible, while the lower earner claims earlier to bring in household income in the meantime. That coordination strategy can be worth significant money across a joint retirement, but it requires both partners to understand the rules and sit down together and plan deliberately. The agency will not suggest this to you. You have to build the strategy yourself. So here is the full picture. If you were born between 1955 and 1965, Your full retirement age is not 65, and it is not a flat 66. It falls somewhere between 66 and 2 months and 67, depending on your exact birth year, and every month of difference matters when it comes to calculating your benefit. Claiming before that date locks in a permanent reduction of up to 30% if you claim at 62, and that reduction never goes away. If you are still working when you claim before full retirement age, the earnings test can reduce your check further, and while some of that withheld money eventually comes back, the recovery is slow, and the math often does not favor people who did not plan for it. Waiting past full retirement age earns you 8% per year up to age 70, and those credits are real and significant if your health and life expectancy support the decision. And every decision you make about when and how to claim also affects your spouse, your survivor benefit, and potentially a former spouse who may be entitled to benefits based on your record. None of these things will come looking for you. The Social Security Administration will not call you to explain your options. The form you fill out will not warn you that a different choice might earn you more. You have to know what questions to ask, and you have to ask them before you submit that application. The single most important step you can take right now is to create your My Social Security account online at the official Social Security Administration website if you have not done so already. Inside that account, you can see your full earnings history, your estimated benefit at different claiming ages, and your projected full retirement age. Look at all 3 claiming ages: 62, your full retirement age, and 70. Compare the monthly amounts. Think about your health, your spouse, your income needs, and your life expectancy. Then make a decision based on real numbers, not what a neighbor told you, not what the rule used to be, and not an assumption you have carried around for 20 years about what age you are supposed to retire. If any part of the math feels confusing, you can request an appointment with a Social Security representative and ask them to walk through your specific situation. That conversation is free. The Social Security Administration is a public service, and they are required to help you understand your options. If you are already claiming and you claimed before your full retirement age and you wish you had waited, there is one limited option worth knowing about. Within the first 12 months of claiming Social Security, you can withdraw your application by filing a specific form with the Social Security Administration, repaying all the benefits you received, and essentially starting fresh. This option is only available once in a lifetime and only within that first 12-month window. But for someone who claimed at 62 in a panic and now regrets it, it can be worth exploring. After 12 months, that option is no longer available and the reduced benefit is permanent. If this might apply to you, do not wait to look into it. That deadline does not feel like a deadline until it has already passed. Please share this video with anyone you know who is in or near this birth year window. A spouse who has not thought through the coordination strategy. A sibling who is planning to claim at 62 because they heard it is the earliest they can get. A friend who does not know their full retirement age has shifted from what they expected. A neighbor who was divorced and does not know they may be entitled to a benefit based on an ex-spouse's record. These are people who could benefit from knowing this, and the information can make a very real difference in how comfortably they live in retirement. If this video helped you, please subscribe so you hear about changes to Social Security, Medicare, and other senior benefits before they affect your income. Rules change every year, and often quietly. Subscribers are always the first to know.